All right, it's going to be a cooler start to the week, but then we're going to have a bunch of changes ahead as we have a change in our pattern with our next cold front. And then this next air mass that moves in for the end of this week for Thanksgiving and Black Friday is going to be very chilly. I think this will be another blast of some really chilly air. Lows probably dropping into the 20s and 30s once again. So unfortunately, not looking at any of the snow or the wintry mixed variety later this week, but we have lots to talk about, and we'll get to all of it here in this video. Hope you like and subscribe to this video. If you subscribe to the channel, you get a lot of resources, not just this show, but also a lot of great content from WRAL. So please subscribe. And also there's a notifications thing you can hit as well, so you can get notified whenever we release these videos on Sunday. So yeah, chilly air for Thanksgiving. Are you a fan of having the seasonable weather for Thanksgiving? I am, because I feel like then I have an excuse to wear my typical Thanksgiving attire, like the flannel, the jeans, that kind of stuff.
Okay, and that's a thing that we need to talk about. Everyone gets dressed to sit in their dining room.
Yes, they do.
Or their living room or wherever.
It's tradition.
It's tradition. You got to bring out the Thanksgiving fit. And I feel like in the Thanksgiving season is when the fits really come out, right?
Yes.
What sweater are you wearing? Are you wearing boots? But no, I think I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan if it's nice outside, so you can take some nice family Thanksgiving pictures.
Right.
Maybe hold off on the rain, which hopefully we'll see.
Yes, and the rain should hold off, and I'll explain why it should hold off. The timing continues to trend with rain chances coming before Thanksgiving starts. So that's a good sign there. It shouldn't impact your plans on Thanksgiving. Now, traveling ahead of Thanksgiving, we'll have to talk about, because that could have some, we could see some issues with that. So I want to start with our upper level pattern, as we typically do with these videos. Let's talk about kind of what we're seeing now and what we'll see throughout the course of this week. So with an upper level ridge in place, that usually brings us warmer temperatures, but we just had a trough come through. So that trough helped to bring us some cooler air to our region. And the high is just going to allow us to stay dry for the start of this week. But you will see, as that ridge builds over the area into Tuesday, we'll see those warming temperatures. So this is Monday. The ridge is building over the area. It's dry. But then by Tuesday, it really starts to build over central North Carolina. By 7 a.m., it's kind of almost centered over the area, almost on the back side of it, and with that, we'll see that warming trend. And also, we're going to have a cold front approaching, so that's going to allow for temperatures to warm up. So yeah, unfortunately, we're getting back to the 70s. If you're, I know a lot of people like the 70s, but in my head, I'm like, okay, cool with the ups and downs weather, and let's just have 50s and 60s and just comfortable fall weather. And so we're used to seeing these ups and downs here.
And I mean, even, yesterday, we're recording this on Sunday, November 22nd, 23rd. We just saw the Christmas parade. People were out, some people wearing shorts. We saw people ice skating down at Red Hat now, which is going to be open, I believe, until early January. Folks out there, again, it's sunny. We had someone talk to us saying, well, it's 70 degrees, but we're still out here ice skating. So, I mean, hey, if you can ice skate in some short sleeves, why not?
Yeah, make
Have
the
a little
most
bit of both.
Make the most of it. You can still, when you're on the ice, wear your wintry clothes and then feel relaxed after you're done on the ice.
There you go.
So Tuesday, the trough is still back to our west, our next trough. That's going to drive a cold front through our area. We will see cloud cover increase and rain chances increase later in the day, Tuesday into Wednesday. Now you'll notice with this trough building back to the north and west, that upside down U-shaped pattern that you see really centered over parts of the upper Midwest, so up towards Minnesota, north South Dakota, through Wisconsin, Chicago, St. Louis. As that digs through our area, so it deepens, it drives south into Raleigh, Tennessee, Virginia, that's when the cooler air is really going to sink in. So it drives the cold front through. We'll see the rain chance Tuesday and Wednesday. And once it passes over our area, the cool air will be brought in from out of Canada, that Arctic air. And from that, that's when we'll see those lows drop in the 20s and 30s, highs drop to the 50s. And I think by Friday, for Black Friday, we could have lows and our highs in some spots only reaching the 40s, upper 40s. So this is going to be one of those deeper Arctic air masses. We start to see those move in, especially into November. As we head into December, January, we're going to see more frequent Arctic air masses and air masses that stay in place that are Arctic. So by Friday, it's going to be really chilly by Friday morning for Black Friday stepping out the door, and I think Saturday morning will be chilly as well. So overnight tonight, this is going to be into Monday morning. It's going to be a cooler start to the day. in the mid to upper 30s for most spots. Down towards Fayetteville and Clinton, you'll be closer to 40 degrees. But in general, it will be chillier than what we've seen over the past couple of days, especially compared to the 70s with lows in the 50s and sometimes in the 60s. This is going to be the product of an area of high pressure in place, keeping us clear. And when we have clear skies, there's more time for the warm air to literally just escape our lower atmosphere. When you have cloud cover, that helps to insulate. And when you have winds as well, that helps to mix the air, which can keep temperatures from cooling down too much. Clear and calm air, perfect recipe for really cooling down overnight. Even during the summertime, we see that. When we're drier and clearer, we have more cooling overnight. It may not drop to the 30s, but we'll drop to the 50s whenever the high was at 70 or 80 degrees. So we'll see that trend for the start of this week. Chillier temperatures to start the day on Monday. And then by Tuesday morning, we'll see more of the same. Some chilly air to start the day. And, technology is going to technology, so we're going to wait a second for my graphics to reconnect again. But hey, that's okay. That's okay.
No newscast without something like that happening.
And this is supposed to be more relaxed. So I think, in the spirit of it being relaxed and us just kind of slowly walking through things, we're going to have some reconnection issues with the iPad. But yeah, in general, next couple of days, some chillier air, cooler mornings, and then we'll start to see a change throughout this week as we get towards Thanksgiving as that front approaches. So here's Tuesday morning, around 40 degrees, a touch warmer than what we'll see Monday morning, but still on the cool side. And then I'm going to go ahead and jump forward to what we'll see as we head into Thanksgiving. And once again, we're having so much fun with the technology. And it's just going to skip, it's just...
Over here in the News Plus corner, you never know what's going to happen.
If it's not one thing, it's another thing. And it's always the fun iPad. So Tuesday and Wednesday, the highs warm into the 70s. So we'll see that happen. And that's going to be ahead of the cold front. We have those rain chances as well. And then into Thursday and Friday, that's when you see the big shift. So 74 Wednesday, then to 54 on Thursday. I think last week we talked about one of those big, or maybe it was a couple weeks ago now. We talked about those big temperature swings. We were like at 77 in the afternoon on Sunday, and then we dropped down to 29 for the low. Yeah, we're going to have another one of those big swings where Wednesday's at 74, and then as we go into Saturday morning, we could get down to 29 for our low. So a big swing with that deeper front moving through. Are you looking forward to December whenever it really starts to get chilly, or is that kind of a no-go?
I like it mild in the winter. I will say I would love to see some snow.
Yeah.
Don't want to see any kind of ice or anything like that. But I will say it's welcomed. I'm slowly learning to think, okay, I got my nice new jacket, my long jacket, and I'm like, okay, let's let it be cold enough so that I can wear this.
That's the nice thing about, I feel like the wintertime, yes, it gets cold, but you can always put more layers on and wear like a beanie or a big coat, and I don't know, it's kind of a cozy feel, even when it's cold outside. During the summertime, it just gets hot, and you can't really do anything about it. You can wear short sleeves and light colored shirt and still be sweating and be miserable. So
exactly.
I know from experience. I came from Mobile, Alabama, where it was hot and humid, literally almost year round, and not a fan. So
so you're excited for
this. Loved Mobile. Don't get me wrong, but it was very hot. So here's Tuesday around lunchtime. I want to talk through this rain chance as the front moves through. We'll start to see clouds increase throughout the day on Tuesday. Now here's closer to the evening time. There's like a broken line that comes through. I think as this warm front lifts north and then the cold front's approaching too, we could see those rain chances increase. Maybe some areas of low cloud cover fog as well. But I don't think this will be the main rain chance. I think as the front moves through into Wednesday, that's when we'll see the majority of rain. So this is 6:15 a.m. You got some scattered showers, maybe a couple of brief storms possible. And then as we head through around lunchtime, this shows another batch of showers moving in, but then finally moving out later in the day, Wednesday, and then you'll see the clouds slowly filter out. And what that means is by Thanksgiving, you go through around 6-7 a.m., you have clearer skies. And look at this, back to the north and west, and now seeing forecast models trying to bring in something wintry here. So I'll have to watch for that later this week. But
that's new.
Yeah, that's a newer trend.
So let me stop you right here.
Okay.
So that looks like right along the 85 corridor, 85, 95 corridor, going up the East Coast. If people are traveling Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yep.
What do you think is the best times for them to do that to maybe avoid some of the rain?
Well, for North Carolina, the rain's mainly going to be, at least for central North Carolina, later in the day, Tuesday and into Wednesday, mainly during the first half of the day.
Okay.
Mainly before lunchtime. Now, this forecast model is trending with more rain closer to lunchtime, so I think you might be better off leaving after lunch on Wednesday.
Okay.
Which I know is a little bit late, but if you can, and it's within driving distance, go ahead and do that drive later in the day on Wednesday, which I think a lot of people will end up doing, because some folks still have to work on Wednesday.
Right.
Leave then, and then you should avoid the majority of the rain. Now, with these fronts, we always see some fluctuations with the exact timing because, like we've seen with the past couple of fronts we've had, it'll briefly stall for a second and then really get its act together. And so if there's a little bit of stalling, we could have a brief period of more rain and it trends a little bit later. But regardless, I think after lunchtime, Wednesday's the best. If you haven't left before later in the day Tuesday, go ahead and leave after lunchtime Wednesday.
To avoid the rain.
To avoid the rain.
To avoid the rain. So I think it's pick your poison. Either avoid the rain or avoid traffic. Because AAA is always like, leave as early as possible.
I know.
So.
Yeah, and that's hard. Like, leave as early as possible. If you're gonna leave really early, Monday is the best bet.
Yeah.
But it's just not realistic because I know we have a lot of folks that still have to work in the Monday and Tuesday and possibly even Wednesday as well. So yeah, later in the day on Wednesday, and I'll show you a travel planner as well to kind of exactly identify which times are going to be great for traveling. I want to show forecast rainfall real quick. We showed those rain totals, or rain chances, I should say, across our area with Futurecast. And our forecast rainfall shows around 1/4 inch for Raleigh over the next 7 days. So really no significant rain with that rain chance that we see with this front that's moving through. But back towards Memphis, parts of Arkansas, maybe up towards Monroe, Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, Dallas, Texas, southwest Arkansas as well, not up towards Jonesboro or Fayetteville, but areas south, maybe towards Little Rock, then towards Houston. We've got more significant rainfall totals as this front comes through. So watching for increased rain chances there. And fortunately, I'm looking back further southwest, closer to areas like Dallas and Houston. Looks like they'll see the majority of the rain. It looks like Austin, Texas, and the Hill Country, which just saw a lot of rain this past week, will be spared from the majority of the rain. And we have some video from that as well.
Yeah,
right?
I want to show that right now. So this was the area, Grant, that you said was really hit hard earlier in the year.
Right.
Camp Mystic, just really incredibly horrible stuff that happened in Texas with flooding.
Right, and we saw flash flood emergencies once again this past week from this rain. And so just an unfortunate situation. They've already had to deal with flooding issues in the Hill Country, and that they're having more problems with it over the past week. So I want to show this to kind of remind folks that even though, these broad systems might only bring us these small rain chances in other parts of the country, they can bring some pretty significant rain when it's coupled with a lot of moisture. And this was a stalled boundary. I mean, there were just multiple training showers and storms. And I have a friend of mine who is my roommate in college, actually. He's a meteorologist over in Texas, and we were messaging about it, and he was posting about it, and it's just unreal, the amount of rain that you can see in just such a short period of time. Yeah. We just recently saw flooding with Chantal, and we know those effects as well. When you have those training showers and storms, it can really, really have an impact on communities, especially that haven't seen as much rain recently, maybe. I mean, it's just, it can become an issue very quickly. So just keeping the folks over in the Hill Country in our thoughts, because they are dealing with some more flooding in that area. But again, fortunately, they're going to see less rain. The majority of it will be back to the north and east. Still can have some flooding concerns in these areas up towards northeast Texas, Arkansas, northwest Mississippi, but for us, only about 1/4 inch of rain. So really not going to see a whole lot of rain over the next week. All right, so let's go to Thanksgiving. The front passes, right? We have the rain chance. 54 degrees for a high on Thanksgiving. So it will be cooler and drier. It could be breezy at times as well, but we should see tons of sunshine. It'll be a really nice day. Rain chances should be out of the picture at this point. Now, I did see that wintry precip back to the north and west. I think it's mainly going to be a mountain issue. Looking at current models, it really brings all that dry air into Thanksgiving, so it's looking less likely. But of course, we could see changes with that trend, so make sure to stay up to date with our team throughout this week. But looks like that'll be back to our north and west. I think it'll be just a cooler but a sunny Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So it'll be nice. So I also want to show you this as well. Thanksgiving normals at RDU. 59 is our normal high, 37 is our normal low. Those are some ranges you can see on the bottom of our temperatures we typically see. This is not out of the ordinary. I've seen a high of 54. And it's been trending cooler as well, but this is relatively normal. We're still going to be 5 degrees above the average high for that time of day, or for that time of the year, I should say. But overall, it's just not going to be too far off. And our low is going to be it's not going to be absurdly far off. It's still going to be chilly in the morning, but not too bad. So, yeah, if you have those Thanksgiving outfits, the sweaters and the
bring the fit, bring the food, bring the fit, take the pictures outside, gather around the pumpkins for maybe the last time of the year. It'll be a good time to do it.
At this point, I feel like people are already sneaking in Christmas decorations, which I definitely have, but we're really going to start to see the more of it come out after Thanksgiving. And, I don't think we're going to see 3 inches of snow, which is good, like we saw in 1912.
What a time to be alive.
I know, 1912.
1912.
Right. Yep, you were on your carriage, maybe? I don't know. I think we had cars at that point. I can't remember. But I think maybe we had the first cars around 1912.
Okay.
I honestly can't remember.
Saw
but
some snow. I know, we're not historians, y'all.
No. Climatology, some, but the historian, not so much. 78 was our warmest high. That was at 85. And then 72, we had a 42 degree high. So that's pretty chilly. I don't think we'll get down to 42 for our high, so that's good. And our wettest, we had 1.25 inches of rain or precipitation back in 61. And we're going to see that. With the front moving out, we'll have some drier air. So we're not going to see any extremes, which is good. The extremes were honestly this weekend. I mean, we had a high of 76 yesterday, and our record was 77. So we weren't far off from those record highs in the mid to upper 70s. It's not uncommon to see 70s, but that warm of temperatures, it's relatively uncommon. So we just talked about our travel plans, and we could have some rain late in the day, Tuesday and into Wednesday, mainly early, but I think some of it could sneak into lunchtime as well. And by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you should be good to go for any traveling. All right, so Chris Michaels made this, so I had to show this.
This is amazing.
He is the king of making awesome graphics for social media, and I had to show this. Promo code WindChill60. I don't know what you put this into, but
60% off wind chills.
Yeah, right.
He's amazing. I wonder how much time it took him to do this. Teach us your ways, Chris Michaels.
He probably made it very quickly. He's so good with graphics, and I like this because it is eye catching, right? I mean, I immediately was like, whoa, when I was scrolling through my Facebook, and wind chills are going to be a factor in a Thursday and Friday because we'll have that deep cold air mass moving in. It'll be a bit breezy at times, so wind chill will be a factor. Even though the air temperature will be in the 20s and 30s into our Friday morning, it could feel even cooler. So keep that in mind. It'll be a chillier start to the day.
I wonder, I think with the change with Black Friday, a lot of people are no longer standing outside and waiting, but maybe there are some folks who are trying to be traditionalists and stand outside and wait for a store to open on Black Friday. So it seems like it's going to be chilly if anyone is doing any of that early morning kind of shopping.
Right, layers will be needed if we're going to be doing the standing in line early to get those Black Friday deals if you choose to do so. I know a lot of it's switched to online, but I know not every store is like that. So hey, make sure to bring
up the
coats, the lawn chair, of course. Then you bring the coat as well. I guess we're gonna have this deal graphic up because once again, the iPad
third time's a charm.
Freezes on me, and it might be this specific location. There are some times where I feel like if I move a little bit. Oh, here we go. Hold on. All right, we're
here
good.
To the right, here to the
left.
left.
A high of 51 on Black Friday. There we go. Lots of sunshine. A cold morning, as we talked about, with some windy conditions. And it's still a chilly afternoon. Highs only get to around 50. I think some spots could only reach the upper 40s by Black Friday in the afternoon. So it will be sunny. It'll be very pretty outside. But with that, it will also be quite cold. So keep that in mind. I wanted to show this, too. We always try to update you on how the rain has been trending, and if we're in drought conditions still. We're still in a moderate drought for almost our entire area. It backed off a little bit when we had an okay batch of rain. I say okay because it wasn't a whole lot, but now we're back to more drought conditions. So we still need a lot more rain. 1/4 inch that we're going to see over the next week is not going to help us at all. Maybe very slightly, but we need a lot more rain to help with these drought conditions. So still continuing to watch this. 89% of our state is abnormally dry. So we do need the rain. Now looking into the next week, week into the first week of December.
Wow.
We are trending warmer across our area, warmer than average though. That doesn't mean we're going to get into the 80s, but it does mean that we could see temperatures touching more into in the mid to upper 60s, maybe close to 70 into the start of the month of December. And then across the central U.S., we'll see those below normal temperatures, but the trough likely moving through, I'm thinking, into the first week of December. So if you're back towards Denver, which I think I'll be right around that time. I'll be traveling to Denver to visit my brother, and it should be chilly. Yeah, and when it's below normal in Denver, that's probably going to be pretty cold.
Probably
so
cold.
that'll be fun. All right, quickly, I want to go over these reported photos. Keith Weaver sent this in of a rainbow, beautiful shot here.
Really nice.
We've had some clouds, so yeah, thanks for sending this in to report it. And then, oh my goodness, this was one of my favorites to see throughout this week.
Great.
Dana Kessler sent this in out of Albemarle?
Try it.
Albemarle?
You gotta say it with a southern, really
Albemarle.
Albemarle.
Yeah.
What's funny, and Grant and I were actually talking about this, is there's an Albemarle County in Charlottesville, Virginia, or close to Charlottesville, Virginia,
right,
which was my first market. And I remember when I was first on air trying to pronounce that, I was like, Albemarle? And they were like, absolutely not, that is incorrect. So I have actually never been to Albemarle, North Carolina, but I assume that it's probably the same pronunciation. If not, maybe a little bit more southern.
And you said this is near Charlotte, right?
Yeah, this is east of Charlotte.
Very nice, okay. So yeah, a beautiful sunset. Thanks for sending in. We appreciate any photos from across the state or wherever you watch us on WRAL. So yeah, report it at WRAL.com. Please send in your photos. Also a great picture here of some of the fall colors. Not super deep yellows, but you have some of them on the trees here. Scott McFerrin sent that in our Wilson. So great to see those beautiful photos that you're sending of the fall colors. And then one more, this is from yesterday. I thought this was cool. We had a sunset plus fog already building in yesterday evening. We had some fog this morning as well from that front still working its way through the area and some moisture left over, and now we're seeing some changes with that, with the more sunshine throughout the rest of the day on Sunday. I want to show this as well. This was taken outside of our studios. I love these trees that line the drive that goes right in. I took this on Thursday morning, I think it was, and yeah, I just want to share that video. I love seeing the deep oranges and reds. I have been waiting to see these again from not being able to see them as much for 7 years prior. So I've loved to see all that. So yeah, it's been really nice to see. It's
cool to see too those really bright colors against a very gray kind of contrast. Those are my favorite fall days when it's overcast, it's gray, maybe it's not raining, but you can really see the colors just pop against that kind of gray cloudiness.
I think that's what I noticed as soon as I walked outside. Yeah, it was a little chilly, but then I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta take my phone out and record this, and didn't regret it. I'm gonna keep that forever. That's so pretty. So yeah, WRAL.com/report it. Please send in your photos, videos of the weather that you're seeing, whether it be dreary outside or you had a storm just come through and it impacted your home or your community, or if you've got gorgeous fall colors, we love to see all of it. So please send them in. It really helps so we can help tell the weather story on TV, and also share it with our news team so they can understand, you know, if we have storm damage sometimes.
Yeah, it helps us.
You're the reason why we're able to understand exactly where that was, and then we can do an analysis of, okay, how did the storm impact this specific area that happened just a couple of weeks ago. So we appreciate you sending in all your photos and videos. But yeah, it's I think going forward, we've got a cooler start to the week. So some jackets tomorrow morning. Tuesday and Wednesday, the rain chances pick up. A warmer Tuesday and Wednesday. That's the upslope of the roller coaster. And then Thanksgiving's going to be that drop off where it will be chilly into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday. We'll probably still have highs in the 50s. So lots of changes this week.
Lots of changes this week. And I hope everyone that's watching has a great Thanksgiving, a great and safe Thanksgiving. Be safe if you're out on the roads and traveling. And as always, send us your pictures. We want to see them. And yeah, let us know if you like this video or not. Let us know if you're watching what you want to see, because we always love the feedback.
Yeah, like and subscribe to the channel, of course, and make sure you have those notifications turned on so you get a notification when this video is uploaded, so that way you can learn more about what to expect throughout the week, and of course, getting a little recap as well about what happened the past week. So thanks so much for tuning in.